Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Tuesday night, so it's time to get back into it and try to solve this case. And the man on the mystery with me is the real detective of them all. What's good with you tonight, Fandom D Saint?
I don't know, man. I call myself the realest detective, but I did not see this one coming. Theo, Teddy. Oh my gosh! And I think he almost hinted to that when he was like, "Oh, Teddy has all this money. Maybe he could be it." I was like, maybe, but I don't know if that's gonna be a red herring." But look at you, got me there. You got me there, show writers. You got me damn there.
Oh, trying to crack the case. They just keep it twisting and turning, never know what's going to happen. So, have we solved the murder? Teddy did it all?
I don't think so. Just like before, when what should call it? Even I was saying it. I was like, even if it was like one person, it could just be a totally different person. And when they said the whole who, the how, the why, and the why now, it's like who's the actual murderer? Did it specifically when Oscar got out of prison just to get it to look like Teddy did it and his son did it?
Why would they have to wait for Oscar to get out of jail, though, to make it look like that?
Because to make it look like, because remember the whole situation was Tom was getting revenge from Teddy
Hmm.
and Theo. So
Right.
it's like, okay, let me wait until Oscar gets out so that it can make it look like they kill not only eventually Tim, since he pretty much knows the whole Oscar thing, and then eventually Oscar.
Good. All right. Oh, Jake Cruz says he had the whole murder in season one pegged in 5 episodes. Pretty good. That's pretty good if you got it nailed in five. Because yeah, they
And
keep.
then episode, what was it, 8 had so much red flags. I was like, wait a minute, if this is happening, maybe this, and boom, it was happening. And maybe this happened, and boom, this was happening. Because Jane, I'm like, Jane, this is like picking up a lot of stuff here. Like, what's up with Jane here?
Yeah,
Next thing you know, boom, the murderer ends up killing her. Well, maybe. I don't know.
we don't even know what's happening. Like, is she dead? They just she was kind of lifeless laying there on
Yeah.
that floor. She looks dead. They're sitting there in a pool of. We're gonna talk about it. That's crazy. But let's get it started. Only Murders in the Building, season one, episode 7, The Boy from 6B. And man, I don't know about you, but we ended the last episode with Teddy as our prime suspect, and this one started with a flash from the past with Teddy and his deaf son. So this is now 2 flashbacks that both involve Teddy. So right out of the gate, I was thinking that he might actually be the murderer. I mean, is that the kind of the path you were on?
Yeah, when I was watching episode 7, I'm like, damn, it really was him then. Either he is the murderer or maybe his son did something because the title of the episode was The Boy. And it was a 6B, I think it
Mm-hmm.
was. So I'm like, okay, so was he the murderer then? And then maybe it's his father who has money, covers it up. And then what happens near the end of the episode? Boom!
They give it to you. Oh, we then see Teddy's son Theo grew up to be quite the peeping Tom, and the fact that he can read lips just makes him a scary one.
Hmm.
Somebody looking in my window, reading my lips. Shouldn't they be a little more cautious though? Like they already received a note saying that they're being watched, and they just have the entire storyboard just right next to the window for anybody with a pair of binoculars to just look in and read all about it.
And that's why I got black shades, in my apartment. And like no one can really see through it easily.
That's right. You can't. You just can't because you ain't looking in here. Jake says, "I wish I hadn't binged it. It would be like, yeah, exactly. That's why I got. That's why I do it. Episode by episode, just to theorize. And this one's so quick, we went ahead and did 2 of them. But yeah, it's always more fun to keep it guessing all the way through the season. They devise a plan to get Teddy out of the house so they can search for it, search it for clues. And at first, I was like, "What's their plan for Theo?" But then later, they explained that Teddy had bought Theo his own place, so he wasn't living there anymore, which makes his Peep and Tom activities even creepier somehow.
Yeah, even he even was like, "Wait, what you're doing here for? Like, I pretty much brought you to your own place." Even trying to like get him like, even if he was still living in the
Draconia.
yeah, like just having him like away from the whole murder scene.
And we saw how easy it was for him to steal a key, so he'd be creeping everywhere in the Arconia, just in and out of people's houses and shit. Like he's the ultimate little creeper.
Hmm.
Why did Mabel make Charles wait when she went into Teddy's apartment first? I didn't get that.
Because one, she knew everything. Like, I guess it would drew more suspicion because one, how would she have like know like the hidden passage? because she did know that and pass it. So then have been like, okay, so you are still holding something, which she obviously did.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Honestly, still can't trust her.
No, right, exactly. I'm like, I just didn't understand that. Like, why are you making him wait outside? Like, what's that about? He was like, huh?
And also could also be a good lookout as well. So it's 50-50.
Nah, I don't know about that. I just felt like she was up to some scandalous shit, lying again. Oh, he said the killer in season 2 is much harder to figure out. We'll be getting there. Yep, we're gonna do this one here now, and probably knock out the finale on Thursday, and we'll be right into season 2 after that. Absolutely. But yeah, I can't believe Teddy was so calm when Theo tried to warn him that the crew were onto him. He was just like, I take care of you. Don't worry about it. I got this. I was like, man, like you could be going up for murder and like you just don't even care. Like, is he crazy or what?
The hubris, man, the hubris.
I don't know. They always blame it on hubris though, when it's usually something else. I don't know. Like Omar said, they always blame it on hubris. How could they be so careless as to leave a glove behind? Like he had 2 things, gloves and a decoy garbage bag, and you couldn't remember to bring both back out with you? Like, really?
And I work in a warehouse and I have like gloves myself. Sometimes they drop and I'm like, oh shoot, I dropped my glove. But it's like, so that I sympathize with.
You're feeling, oh, well, like, yeah, one job. And when Theo had a flashback on New Year's Eve in the elevator with Zoe, she was like all flashy, showing off her ASL skills. But what Teddy really noticed was that big fat ring that she stole from his place. Like, what was she thinking? She knew it was his apartment she took it from.
And that is the murderer thing. The way how Teddy reacted when he saw that damn ring, ballistic. And that's the murderer. The owner of that ring, or the one that they're planning on selling it to, or something of that nature. Oh yeah, because they were it has to be the relative of a deceased person. Because weren't they pretty much grave robbers? And they stole that ring. So I'm guessing they were the murderer. I was like, wait a minute, what happened to my significant other or relatives like ring? Maybe something of that nature. And they found out Teddy's a grave robber and they probably went plot to kill Teddy and his son. I don't know. Either way, it's all connected. The murder and this damn ring.
It's all connected. I think he just wanted that ring because he stole it and he wanted that ring back. And
nah, like it's something like specifically up with this damn ring. It's always
that ring could tie his son to the murder for that night or whatever. Because if
but it was before that though. When they're in the elevator, the moment he noticed that ring, like he just lost his like control over it.
Right. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. There's something special about that ring. Maybe it was his Nana's ring. I mean, she did just pick it up. He did have it out specifically, not with anything else. But I don't know. Maybe we'll find something. There is something more to that ring. But yeah, I think he just was greedy.
And it's weird. Yeah. After I think we find this out in the next episode about Tim died literally the day after he gets that ring,
or even the same day. Yeah. So yeah, that is kind of weird. And I gotta say, Mabel has a real knack for finding those secret doors. Like the plot convenience is just remarkable in this show. Like she is just quick to find every secret.
Or Zoe could have told since she saw pretty much.
Well, they showed her remembering, like hearing that knock, and then all of a sudden it kind of clicked to her. Like, because I didn't even notice that the first watch. When I went back through and I saw it again, I was like, oh, they did do a little flashback to like show that she heard a knock back there. But yeah, again, I know it's only a half-hour show, but yeah, she's pretty quick. How about Charles putting that Mac Daddy music on his date, just getting right to the dancing?
Bro, to the dancing, to the Scrabble, gets laid. I'm like, okay, that's what you do. Just put on some good music, play some Scrabble, boom, the panties drop.
But I was like, Charles, my guy, does she literally have to spell it out for you? And she's like literally spelling it out. I was like, come on, man.
And that was like their second date.
Yeah. Yep.
Bravo's got skills. Who would have thought?
Oh, Mac Daddy. Brazos gets it done, the silver-tongued detective. Mabel and Oliver try to go sleuthing in the morgue, but they have zero stealth skills and like totally get caught by Theo, but not before revealing that he and his father, like we were just saying, are indeed grave robbers. So yeah, not everybody is fit to be a spy, but I mean they have just zero creeping skills. Like
I'm surprised they even got caught because past few episodes now, freaking Mabel's like, oh, I've been always wanting kill someone, beat someone up, and this and that. When we finally got your chance against Theo, You lost. And you even had Oliver there to kind of help you out.
Yeah, a little tougher killing somebody you know, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. That
Or
was
even defend yourself at least. Because you
but
got the jump on Oscar.
I know they made it look like they got away, and then all of a sudden we find out not so much a little later. That was kind of crazy. But we then get another flashback showing how Mabel's friend Zoe died, and well, kinda like, could you tell? Did he push her, or did she like fling herself over that edge when she was?
That's what I was saying. Like, first watch, I'm like, did she just accidentally just like fell backward? But then with the subtitles, and I was hearing what she was saying as well. It was like, let go of me. So it's
Yeah,
like,
she said, "Get off me," but she was the one hitting him.
mm-hmm. And then I'm guessing when he was like going for the ring, then she was like, get let go of me or something. And then even then, you don't really see his arms like push or anything
Yeah,
or anything.
yeah, it was almost like she was hitting him, and maybe he grabbed her just to stop her from hitting him, and then she like flung back, like "Get off me," because he grabbed her, he
Hmm.
stopped her from hitting him, and when she flung back, that's when she went flying over the edge.
Like honestly, he could have just reported that to the police, and I think they would just like let it go.
Yeah, I mean that's not. Yeah, it's like that's an accident, but I mean, then again, would the police believe her and be like, "No, that's a lie. How could she do that with that much force? She must have thrown her or something." So.
Even then, it's like they have like no connection or anything really. Like if it was the boyfriend, it'd been like okay, crime of passion or something, but not really.
I just saw Jake's message. I play Words with Friends every day. Hasn't led to anything. I must be doing it wrong. That's awesome. But yeah, exactly. You can't. I think they definitely made that a little harder to tell. So you can't really tell. Like, did he throw her? Did she throw herself over? Like, what really happened in that situation? Because she was kind of in a craze. So that was pretty wild. But Theo runs to tell his dad, who instantly goes and threatens Tim, and telling him the same fate as that girl will not only happen to him, but happen to his little girlfriend too. So little did we know that Tim wasn't really a complete creep at all. He actually kind of saved Mabel's life by not talking and letting Oscar go to jail for the crime.
It seems like he distanced himself from Maple then on because of it.
Yep, he couldn't even look her in the eye because of it. But little did she know, like he probably saved her life. So that was an interesting reveal. I wonder if Tim had ever told Oscar about it, but then we find out later like how that goes down. So that was wild. She actually sees it in his phone once Tim's ever dead. So Tim never got a chance to tell him. But oh man, what a crazy little web they wove. Charles wakes after what I'm sure was a well-earned nap, and to see that he's missed like one or two texts, I was like, dude, you better get that phone. These people need help. And Mabel sends him the password to Tim's phone, and he's all excited. But little does he know that his crew is now all tied up in the back of Theo's van. Like, were you just like, oh God, where are they taking him? Did you really think this might be curtains for him?
Curtains, no, but still, I was like, what the hell? How do they allow this to happen? Unless Theo's that strong or something. I wish I actually would have saw how it went down. Because again, Mabel's been talking about how she could take almost anyone down. Got the jump on Oscar in a couple of episodes ago, but in this situation, she couldn't. Plus, you had Oliver there,
She
unless
didn't have
Oliver was the cause of it.
she didn't have her sewing needle with her. That was a problem there. She
Even
had
even without a sewing needle, there's had so much instruments in that place. It's a freaking morgue.
get down, yeah. Yeah, like I said, they made it look like they got away, but not so much. He ended up catching them both, and yeah, not like it'd be hard to grab both of them. Toss them. I don't think they're fighting back too much. Mabel looked like she would have, but I don't know. He must have taken her first because Oliver's not doing anything. Oh, but that was episode 7, and yep, all wrapped up. And so far, we're just like you're still with it. It's just basically we got it wrapped up. And now they're just kind of tying up a few loose ends now.
I'm telling you, episode 7 and 8 made up for 5 and 6.
I was all about it. Oh, well, I got just a couple trivia questions to see if you remember anything about the show. If you know these questions, write them in the chat box. If you know these answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching later, put them in the comment section down below. What restaurant did Oliver tell Teddy he made reservations for old time's sake?
Was it Sperry's or something like that?
That is incorrect.
I know it was beginning with an SP. But you sure it was Sperry's, something like that?
Yeah.
I know it began with an S.
There you go. It didn't start with an SP, but it started with an S. I'll give you that. Oh, absolutely.
Sperry's? There you go.
What's that?
Series or something? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Getting close. Oh, that's almost give me. That's pretty good. That's a good callback. It was actually Sardi's.
Ah.
Oh man, but you were pretty close. We're gonna give you that one. What's the name of Teddy's second business?
Did I have that one
Kind of
down?
a deep dive. They never said it, but it was written on that piece of paper Mabel was holding.
Damn, that was on my other trivia question. It wasn't Sunshine on the Funeral Homes, was it?
Shine on Funeral Home.
No, there we go.
Absolutely. Oh, well done, you.
Not on the piece of paper. It was also on the wasn't on the on bottom of the urns. That was in the rooms.
Oh, in the bottom of the urns too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was creepy. They had the jewelry in the urns. Like, what the hell?
A great way to stash it and move it. I mean, who's going to be looking in those? Here's a real tough one. I don't know if you're going to get this one, but had you as a DJ, what song did Charles and Jan dance to?
Hold up. Let me
Oh, wait a
scroll
minute.
down.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Wasn't it Stairway to the Stars?
Oh my God. Look at this man go. I thought sure that was going to be a stumper. Look at you go. Extra credit. You know who sang it?
Nope.
Ah, I'm impressed though. Wow, mind blown. How did you
I had
get
to get that song, so if I'm with a shorty, I'm gonna play that. We play some Scrabble, and she knows what's gonna be next.
Oh, Shorty will know. That's what's up. See, I learned from the best. Brazos himself. Oh, I know, right, Jake? Just showing off. How'd he get that one? That was hell impressive. Oh, here we go with another one. How many messages did Charles miss from Oliver and Mabel?
He missed 78 texts and 11 missed calls.
Listen, look at this man go. He was paying attention. I see you. I see you. Oh, here's a quick one. What's Oliver's last name?
What the hell? That I don't know off the rip.
Oh, they showed it. I love it. It was they showed it on his phone. They that's what made me put it in this one when he was checking his text. It was O and then his last name. Oh, that's awesome. What's up? What's up, Jake? You know what Oliver's last name is? You know that one? Put in the chat box. You're watching later. Put in the comment section down below. And last but not least, what did Mabel think the password might be for Tim's phone?
Hmm.
And she ended up being right.
Theo?
Absolutely correct. O'Malley.
I think only like 3 words have been said throughout this entire episode.
What's that?
Only like 3 words have been said in like this entire episode.
3 words.
We did it. That was like the only words that was said in the entire episode.
We did it.
Because everything else was silent. There was noise
wow.
because, in tribute to since he was hearing impaired, the entire episode was majority of it was like no one was talking.
Wow, did I notice that? Because it feels like there was more than 3 words said. Especially with because we heard Zoe said more than 3 words herself.
No, everything that was said with her, she did it in sign language. No one spoke anything until near the end of the episode, until Charles said we did it when he unlocked the phone.
I'll be damned. That's pretty sick. How did I not notice that? Wow. See, that's how good this show is. How did I not notice that? I got to go back. Like, that seems like something that would have really stuck out.
Because at one point, as the episode was progressing, I'm like, wow, no one's really saying anything unless it's like through sign language. But nope, or through text.
That's amazing. That is amazing. That was tough to watch, honestly. I was happy when it was over. How did I not notice? Yeah, doing too many things at once. That's how. That's crazy trying to speed through it. Oh, man. Yeah, that's wild. How did I not notice that? That's crazy. And you got the only 3 words. We did it. Like nothing was. Yep, because him and Jan were speaking through tiles, and he just went right up and grabbed her. He didn't even ask her to dance. It's still just wow, that's amazing. And now I got to go back and watch it again. That's hot. That is hot. And that was episode 7 from Only Murders in the Building, though. That was definitely a good one, and definitely back on track from 5 and 6. These were, I do believe, much better. 5 and 6, those were definitely our filler episodes for the series. But going right into Only Murders in the Building, Season 1, Episode 8, Fan Fiction, and oh my God, we have fans. And ever since the Jimmy Fallon show, it's blown up, but here we meet some of the self-proclaimed day oneers, and like, how great was this crew?
Yeah, I believe that was like the original 4 subscribers they mentioned like several episodes back, and they finally show us these like four first, subscribers they had.
Oh, that's amazing. What about that Sting episode? A whole show with no stakes. Do you guys even like this podcast? I was like, this group is amazing. Are you kidding me? Oh, it was fantastic. And then we see Theo, of course, was taking his captures to his father. So they met at a dump site, and Mabel asked, like, "Are you going to leave the bodies here?" And he didn't exactly deny it. He just said, "You ask interesting questions." So is that how they get rid of bodies? They just take them to dump sites and leave them?
Pretty much.
Oh, that is awful. So you think that he actually did do that? Like he wasn't
Yeah.
messing with their heads? Oh, Teddy is a sick, sick man. And he has a little threatening session with them and jokes not funny on how he knows where they live. And he said he knew shit about Tim Kono's death. He knew shit about Tim Kono's death, but wants them to end the podcast anyway. And did you believe him at the time that he had nothing to do with Tim's untimely demise?
At one point, I was like, nah, he obviously does. But then I'm like, wait a minute. This is episode 8. And normally in mysteries, you think that you caught the damn murderer, and next thing you know, they pull the rug underneath your feet, and that is not the damn murderer.
Exactly. Then got to keep you guessing. We still got 2 episodes to fill. And I love the different reactions like Oliver and Mabel had when they realized like they actually had fans. Like she's like, "Oh my God, we have fans." And he's like, "Oh, thank God we have fans."
And he saw one of them had a t-shirt of his face on. He's like, hold up. What is that? He's like, oh, I made it myself. He's like, oh, well, how much you actually would pay for actual merch?
Oh, my man is always on the grind. Are you kidding me? He's a hustler. He's like, let's get it. Can I make some more money? Let's do this. And then they race to Charles's apartment to find that he is not home alone. And Mabel instantly finds herself in a very uncomfortable conversation that she'd very much like to exit immediately. But Jan seems very comfortable, like almost a little too comfortable. I'm like, she's acting like she's known him forever. What's up with this woman?
And he laid it down to the point that cloud 9, as they say.
Just brought her right into family. And speaking of too comfortable, how is Oliver going to just like spilling the tea on everything right there in front of this basic stranger?
That's why I'm like beginning to side eye her at the same time. It's like he just now happen to be with when they discovered the phone,
Right?
helping him like decipher everything, be like X, Y, and Z, saying like, wait a minute, maybe. Then we later on, she was like saying, wait a minute, this person you had as a suspect, maybe there are an actual suspect still, then maybe you shouldn't like brushed it off.
Right? It's like, and now we see why Jan was so comfy talking with Mabel because she and Charles had, like you said, been going through Tim's phone all morning, putting clues together. And Mabel says Teddy killed Tim, but Jan said she didn't see that in his phone, and he took meticulous notes. So it almost
I
seems like,
believe it seems like she saw the murderer or knows the murderer.
you think Jan knows who did it?
Either knows it or knows it's not, whatchamacallit, Teddy.
And that's why she got caught.
Yeah, but she did, and her saying it, probably she could also be an accomplice too, and now has regrets. So that could be another thing.
Oh, because they were talking like it was 2 people. They made it sound like there had to be 2 people that did it. 2 different people. So I like that. Oliver is beside himself. Like he's not so sure about this 4th wheel. Like just loves all her opinions that she's given. Like he is not having.
Oh my gosh, I think she is part of it. I think she is the second person because then she fell in love with Oliver. No, Charles. Because it just seems like she kind of like moved into that place. Just so happens to be in a relationship with Charles, the one who's now investigating. Oh my gosh, man. Why, Charles? Why?
No, Charles. Saying it so. Oh man. He's broke. He has to be on the grind. Yeah, exactly. But he's got some of that Teddy money now. Got that 50,000 for 3 episodes. That's not too shabby. It looks like Oliver still doesn't have like Aphrodite fixed as the 3 get out of a cab to go meet the detective. And Charles always has some scene from Brazos he's trying to act out. Like, I don't know. Mabel's not really trying to hear that word right now, though. I just love how they keep doing those callbacks like that. She said, my safe word. He's like, I do not want to hear that word right now. That was amazing. And I know the detective said she's up against some big obstacles, but how is she trying to leave like the solving of this murder case to these amateurs? Like, is she just trying to make her boo happy because she saw how much she loved their podcast or what?
I mean, it gotta make her life easier because, like she said in the previous episode, if she truly did it, her trying to reopen that case would be like a bucket of worms. So it has to be done.
Oh man, I was just like, you are not trying to leave solving this murder to these amateurs. Like, what is really going on? And while trying to break the case, Oliver works up a hunger, and while looking for some food, someone knocks, and hey, it's Jan with snacks. And as hungry as he is, shouldn't he have been a little more grateful that somebody actually showed up with food?
He just being freaking petty.
Such a hater. I was like, dude, you're sitting there starving, and she shows up with food, and you're just gonna sit there and bitch about it while
And he
eating.
was eating it. He like 6 of them.
Charles called him out. He's like, you had 6 of those. You sit there and talk all that mess. Oh no, you didn't say that about my woman.
Would
Stop
have
it.
had more if it was hummus on the side.
Oh, that's classic. But they were chewy. Get out of here. You know, it's Charles being all protective and territorial with Jan already. Like Oscar tried sitting next to her on the couch, and he was like, "Nope." He was like quick to get in there. Like, "Yep, you can just move over to the left a little bit." I was like, "Damn." Oh, already jealous. He's like, "I got some, and you are not getting in the way." Jen is so excited to be a part of this. Like, she's all, "Thank you for inviting me into this." And Oliver's like, "Yeah, nobody invited you to shit, lady." Like, are you kidding me? I was crying. She's like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, you're welcome. No problem." These two are killing me together. But come on, we cannot be mad at how excited and happy Charles is that he finally had some, but he does need to quit bringing it up all the time. Like, we get it. You're glowing, my guy. Like, you don't need to keep saying it, especially in front of Mabel. Like, that's just awkward.
She can't hear the word bravos to say him again. Or
No,
brazo, excuse me.
yeah, she's had enough. She's like, do not say that word anymore. Oliver steps out for some dip and fresh air, and on his way home, he stops and talks to his Uber fans. And then he quickly realizes, like, they actually know more than he does, and decides to bring them in to help solve the case. Like, do you think this is genius or tragedy waiting to happen with that move?
That was genius.
But I mean, are you ever inviting these psychos from the internet into your home?
True, but it's not my home. It's there.
Talking about, I mean, they definitely need some hygiene and this and that. I'm like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, we can talk outside. You're not coming in. Oh, it's amazing. When he said he's a visualizer and starts setting the scene with that cast, like, and then made like Marv.
I freaking love that, man. I loved it. Just like how it was in like episode, I think it was 3 or 4. We did the same thing to pick out a suspect. I'm like, yo, I freaking love the character of Oliver. And they do that for the second, even third season. I'm all in for it.
Oh, you are absolutely in there because I was dying when old boy's like, he's like, don't do that, don't ever do that again. I'm like,
It's true. Like, why would he even? Oh my!
oh, all 3 times I've watched that, I laughed out loud. I was crying. That's amazing.
No wonder he's not invited to his daughter's wedding.
Right? Don't know how to act right. Better find some. Also, like how he reminds us that he was punched in the stomach at the dump. Like they knew the audience would not remember that little tidbit. Like I didn't. I actually had to rewind it and watch that scene. I totally forgot about that. He's like, when I got punched in the stomach, like I did at the dump. I was like, oh yeah, you did. He did punch you in the stomach. I don't know. I just love that little callback like that. Was Oliver a little harsh with Jan, or did she have that coming when he got all rude and kicked her out like that?
Yeah, she was harsh, but she's like coming from oh, this is my friend that died. I just really want to like put this person away, but she's just not thinking straight, and that's what Janice was trying to tell her. Like, yo, I understand you want to put the murder away, but just don't think too rash. That all because like, oh, we finally have like so much on one person, don't just automatically blame on said person. It just seems like too obvious.
I mean, I don't know. She like did invite herself into the crew, but it's just like, why? I don't know. He was a little bit harsh. Like, she just brought you snacks, and you're just gonna talk to her like that and kick her out. Like that was, I don't know. That was rude. That was a little extra.
Maybe she didn't like the damn pizza roll. 'Cause I don't think I seen her eat a damn pizza roll in that episode.
No, I'm talking about Jan, the one who brought the pizza rolls, Charles' girlfriend.
Oh,
Like when
wait,
Oliver
then repeat
got
the question then.
like when Oliver got all rude and like basically yelled at her and said her opinions weren't appreciated and like basically kicked her out. And she left, and then Charles was like all sad because his girlfriend got kicked out.
See,
I
this
just
is
thought,
almost again a cry for help though, because I think she again, if she was part of it and accomplished, she's starting to feel guilty. Maybe she had to oust the other murderer.
what? Don't you just know she's gonna end up like being right though, and it's gonna end up being like the cat guy who did it, their very first suspect. Like they kick her out and never listen to her. Like I don't know. Was he just faking the fainting at the site of like blood disease thing? Like, she's gonna end up being right, and they're like just dismissing everything she's saying. Like, she's gonna end up being the only one that had anything right.
If so, then next season, whatever Charles say, I'm gonna go with Charles. Instantly, if he says, "Oh, he's faking or this and that," I'm like, "Up, follow Charles, follow Charles, follow Charles."
Oh, you're gonna switch teams and come over to the Hayden Maiden?
Oh no, Oliver is still my favorite, but I'm gonna rely on Charles' clues.
Oh, I'm Team Hayden Maiden. Let's go. Oh, how clueless is Charles though? Like, I think she's mad at me, and Oscar's like, "Oh yeah, she's definitely mad at you." It's like you basically just picked your podcast over your girlfriend. Are you out of your mind? Of course she's mad at you. Like, my man just has no clue. Come on. But when she returns home, there's a note on her door saying that she's being watched. And who is leaving these notes? And is it the same person that left both of them? Do you think?
I think it's the same person.
Like, you have any idea who's leaving them?
The murderer.
Right.
Who's the murderer? Could be the cat guy. And it was weird. Didn't they say like in an episode or two? No, it was episode 7 about the therapist. And he said that he heard like some shoveling noise near his apartment. I wonder that like any relevance later. I wonder.
Interesting. It's like, who's shoveling above him? So who lives above him is what we got to find out. Because yeah, why would they show an extra scene of just that guy complaining about his patients not being able to relax? Because it sounds like shoveling going on above him. What kind of shoveling? What's really happening up there? Inquiring minds need to know. So the crew record what seems to be their final broadcast, but little Grant is back, and something just seems a little bit off. Like, why would the Demises sponsor the very podcast that may put them away, like may out them? Like, that doesn't make sense. So I think little Grant might be onto something. And then everybody's celebrating, but Charles isn't in a celebratory mood because, again, he picked the podcast over his new girlfriend. He's already starting to regret that decision. Like, what were you thinking, my man? Come on. You finally just get some and you blow it out the door already. Not a good move. And even the detective calls Oliver to like congratulate him. But while on the phone, she gets the toxicology reports back and she says that Tim Kono was poisoned. And also that the Demases are outside on camera during the time of Tim's death. So they couldn't be the murderers. Like, that is going to be an awkward passing in the halls. Like, oops, sorry for getting you arrested, almost getting you arrested for murder.
Yeah. But he still was doing the grave robber thing, so yeah.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Like, they're not completely innocent. Like, they'll probably get charged with something, which
the grave robbing thing, but they're not gonna get charged for murder.
Which is going to make it even more awkward because they're not going to go to jail for that probably, and if they do, it won't be for that long, and still going to have to be passing them in the elevators and in the hallway. Like, that's not going to be a comfortable scene. And Oliver lets us know that there may still be murder in the building. And I like how Charles like tries to take the high road all of a sudden, like starts chastising him, like, nobody ever listens to me or Jan. Like, dude, we saw what side you picked, buddy. Settle down, trying to be all high and mighty over here. Charles, come on. So Charles goes and buys some apology flowers and tries to make up with his new girlfriend, only to knock on her door and find it ajar. And he walks in and sees a limp, lifeless Jan laying on a floor in a pool of her own blood. And what's up? Is Jan dead?
That's the thing. I'm like 90-10, 90-10.
90%.
90 since she's dead, and 10% there's still life in her.
He might have got there just in time to save her. I don't know. She's
the
been
last few words he's trying to say who the murderer was, whatever, but done. Or gives a hint of something and then dies.
That's what she's gonna give just enough clues to like help solve the case and then be out.
Mm-hmm. But she already pretty much did with the whole cat guy, who freaking Charles still has a piece of the damn foot somewhere. I was like, what? Why didn't you dispose of that already?
Oh, that's nasty. And that smell, he was already talking about the smell a couple minutes later. Like, what's it doing now? And tell me he doesn't have it in his freezer. Oh, could have used some tact when kicking her out. But yeah, that was just, I mean, she kind of had it coming, but he was a little bit rude and ruthless. Charles was right. That was everything. She did kind of impose herself. She did. She invited herself into it. What's up? We got the one true David Adams in the chat. Good to see you out there, brother. Hope all well with you. Hope you're ready to have happy holidays. Oh, man. Absolutely. Shout out to AK. Hopefully all's going well with her, and we can get her back on as soon as possible. But yeah, she's just preparing for things she's got going on in life, and I look forward to having her back on shortly. Oh, and if you're watching AK, love you and hope all is well with you. So yeah, that's the end of episode 8. Just kind of up and running. I don't know. What do we think of these 2 episodes? We liked them a lot better than 5 and 6.
Most definitely. Like these 2 right after 5 and 6. Like, damn, we should did that. We should do 5 to 8.
Just kept it going. 2 at a time and keep them guessing. So, do we have any new thoughts on who might be the murderer or what's going on with Jen? I mean, we see that it can't be the Demis. So
This stream made me think is Jen and someone else. Who's this someone else? It could be the cat person. If it's not the cat person, I have no idea who else it could be.
So we think Jen and the cat person, maybe she was trying to out him from that guilt. That was her guilt talking, and she was out herself. And it's her, the cat person, that did it all.
Because again, her appearing, I thought, okay, it was just a side plot for Charles to have someone and they end up dying. But it can also be, that also be either the murderer or one of the murderers, just to be close, And what did Teddy say? Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. And it's like, is it just for the podcast with this whole grave robbing thing? But it can also be looked as, the murderer as well. And the murderer just slept with Charles.
We could be. Can't wait to find out on the next 2 and see what happens. See what did we miss and where it is. But right now we're going with the cat guy and Jan as co-conspirator murderers. But so you think the cat guy just got her to basically cover his tracks, basically?
Yeah.
Oh man, can't wait to find out. Oh, so we got just a couple trivia questions. If you know these, put them in the chat box. If you're watching later, put them in the comment section down below. What did the super fans call themselves?
The Arconics?
The Arconiacs. You're absolutely correct. Oh, what did fans of Mabel call themselves?
Oh shoot! They really? I didn't know that one.
Oh boy, said each one of them had a name. That's where I got my Hayden Maiden from. Team Charles. I'm a Hayden Maiden.
What's Oliver's thing?
Oh, what is Oliver's thing? You, sir, are a putt nut.
God. Oh my gosh. Sure, I gotta change my name now. The realest putt nut now.
Dude, I was 100%
expecting
some kind of putt nut reference in your name. I was shocked.
That went right over my head.
I was shocked when I didn't see it. I was like, yep, absolutely. That's where I got mine. Absolute Hayden Maiden, Team Charles. What's happening? Yep, we got the Maybellines, the Hayden Maidens, and the Putt Nuts. Like, depending on who your favorite is. What did Jan say their safe word was? We already went through that a few times.
Oh my gosh. It makes sense though. Brazos.
Absolutely. And what were the 4 day oneers' names?
Damn, I don't know that one.
Can you name any of them?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I feel it. What's up, chat? If you know that one, put it in the chat. If you're watching later, put it in the comment section down below. But that is it. Only Murders in the Building, Season 1, Episode 8. And
thank goodness the kid didn't go in that apartment. I was like, that would have been like way weird. Like, why the hell would you bring? One of them was like a kid.
Oh yeah, Grant.
Thank goodness he did not go in that damn apartment. I would have been like, dude, you brought like a 4 or 5-year-old freaking kid, or a 9 or 10-year-old kid into your freaking apartment
to talk about murder.
Yeah, like what the hell are you doing? About anything? Like don't bring an underage kid into your freaking apartment.
Oh, it's a group thing though. All the foreshadowing has been shown. Oh yeah, you got to put all the clues together. That's what it is. What were those old people doing that required a safe word? You already know. They spelled it out for you in Scrabble. Oh, it was sexy time. Just getting it. But yeah, we're going to come on here and do episode 9 and the finale on Thursday and knock this season out and be done with it. And then we can move right on into episode 2. And yeah, that might run us right into it because like I said, they're going to start filming season 3 in January.
Ah,
So hopefully it won't take too long for them to get that all edited, produced, and put back out. So, yep, another season to look forward to even after we get through season 2. So,
and
it'll
Hulu
be
just
good.
releases like all the episodes. They don't do the week to week thing.
That's a good question. It might be a week to week thing. I'm not 100%.
Hmm.
But yeah, if we do that, then Jake won't be able to binge it. He'll have to stay on pace with us as long as we get right on it.
Yeah.
That'll be tight. So, yeah, that's going to do it for us. Hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here until we see you on Thursday. You guys be easy. Have a good one.